So as I promised, I had a story for you, so here it is. It was back in 1997. The story is about my wonderful, loving, supportive mother-in-law. Some of you may know her. Her name is Jean Chambers. She is also a member of this church. I was here with two of my children. At that time, Stephen and I and two of our kids, who were toddlers at that time, lived in Moscow. So I came here for the summer months and spent with my in-laws, Jean and Danny, 3 months. My English was much worse than it is now, and I can tell you my faith and my relationships with God were not as strong as they are now. So we were walking at night in the evening with kids and just talking with Jeanette, and it was about time for me to go back. And I shared with her I was really scared and nervous to fly back with two toddlers with me by myself, and I was really nervous to go back with kids. And Jeanette told me something. She probably doesn't remember that day and doesn't remember the story, and doesn't realize how much impact it had on me, but she taught me how to pray in her loving, very visual way that really talked to me at the time, and I still use that prayer every time I get on the plane. So she told me, so Lena, when you get on that plane with your two kids, just pray that God will take care of you, and just imagine God's mighty two hands picking up that little plane full of people and 3 of you in it, and just gently lifting it up off the ground in Texas and carrying it over the ocean and putting it down in Moscow gently. It was simple and genius, and I thought, wow, that is really what I wanted to hear and what I needed to hear at that time. So 20 years later, almost 20 years later, I do that prayer every time I get on the plane. I'm not as nervous. I trust God a lot more than I used to 20 years ago, but I still use that prayer. So thank you, Jeanette. You're probably hearing the story for the first time with everybody else. So as you can see from my story, this was just a little simple thing Jean did, and she didn't realize how much impact it had on me. So I challenge every one of you, and myself included, to be more courageous, more contagious, more bold with our with sharing of our faith, our relationship, our testimonies with God, and just spreading his love, even though sometimes we might think it's nothing significant, I don't have much to offer, my faith is not that strong. You never know what seed you're planting and what will grow out of that seed. So this is my challenge.